We're going to get right into it, okay? Listen, we got family in the building. You know what I'm saying? My dog Dennis back, but he brought the big guns through. He brought moms through. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He brought somebody that I really want to get into this interview. You know what I mean? But only because, like I was telling her before the camera started rolling, I was doing my due diligence. I was doing my research. She has that type of story that touches every part of the universe. You know what I mean? Because we all go through things in life. We all deal with adversity. We all deal with, challenging things in life. So this is it's going to be a great interview because y'all know John loves history. And Mom's gonna give me some history lessons as well. And, then we're gonna get to talk about trials and tribulations, because everybody, we all going through something, especially in these times. It's best to, find some inspiration. You know what I mean? It's, like my dog Dennis taught me, man, and be grateful. You know what I mean? Your son taught me that, Moms. Really? I tell him all the time. When he came through.
He's listening.
Yeah, when he came through for his episode, he was just telling me how he, overcame, alcoholism and things like that and just being grateful. And the lesson he taught me, I took that with me. And every day I try to be grateful every single day. So now listen, y'all see your boy, my passion is rolling out. So let's get right into this. Mark, you ready? Dennis, you ready?
Let's go.
Moms, you ready?
Mom is ready.
Let's do this. Your boy Jonathan Little, aka John. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell, man. Tap into what I got going on. This is the I-70 Podcast, where we bring the world together one episode at a time. That's right. And as I said in the soft open, the individual I got in the building today, you know what I mean? She needs no introduction, but this I-70 Podcast, so John gonna give one anyway, and she gonna be Moms for the whole episode. You know what I mean? Sorry, Moms, that's just how I am. You know what I mean? That's just how it's finna be. Let me give Mom some flowers real quick. Entrepreneur. Commercial real estate investor, public speaker. I got to talk to you about that too, Mom, because I'm trying to get into that myself. Public speaker, community activist, international bodybuilder, 2-time cancer survivor, none other than Helen Ortiz is in the building. Thank you for coming through, Moms.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
yeah. Now,
nice intro.
Yeah. Now, Dennis, you know how we do, man. You know how we do. Moms, I want to get into, you have an amazing story, but I want to get into some things you're doing currently, right? So public speaking. When did you get into public speaking? I'm only asking because I'm passionate. I want to get into it as well. So when did you get into public speaking?
It's been about 2 years now.
About
3 years
yeah.
But it's always been a passion of mine.
Yes, ma'am.
Because I really believe that every journey that we go through life are lessons, not just for you, but also for others.
Yes, ma'am.
And what you are going through, you're not the only one.
Mm-hmm.
Some people don't want to talk about it, but I believe that talking about your experiences, your downfalls, your trials and tribulations, and how you overcome it more than anything is going to help other people to know that they are human, that they are not by themselves.
Yes, ma'am.
And how you did it, and how did you came on top of things, and that's why I felt that by talking about my suffering. Helped me healing.
Yes.
And I believe that I always said that, something that you go through, experiences in life is like a wound. And if you cover it up, it's not going to heal.
Yes.
You gotta uncover it and let the sun hit it, let the air hit it, and eventually it's going to scab, and heal.
Yes.
So that's when I decided that I wanted to, and I'm passionate about speaking about life.
Yes. And the reason, that's one of the things why, I get inspired when I see anybody that does public speaking, because I know I want to do it. You know what I mean? So anytime I see anybody that do it, I instantly get intrigued, and I'm like, oh man, like that's it. You know what I mean? And the fact that you get to speak and share your story, and then people get to tell you, hey, your story moved me, it inspired me. I know that feels good.
And that was about to say that you have to speak about what you're passionate about, what you believe. And yes, you want to educate yourself about, but it's your story, and who's going to tell it better than you?
See that, Mark? Ain't nobody gonna tell my story better than me. That's why I talk so much on my podcast, man. Because look, when the white folks get it, they're gonna dilute it. You know what I mean? It's gonna be something that it ain't. I gotta get it all out before we get too big in the world. You know what I mean? Yeah. See, Mom's vouching for me. Now, Dennis, I want to ask you something real quick before I get back with Moms. What is it like seeing your mother, get to this point in life that she's at? Because you seen it all, bro. What is it like to see your mother at this point in life?
It's inspiring, man. It really is. I remember when she first came out and started telling her story. Actually, one of the first people that put her on was Lisa Lopez. May she rest in peace. She's the one that got shot during the parade, the Chiefs. And
RPS. I forgot about that. Yes.
yeah. Rest in peace, Lisa. And then she started, hitting different young Latino professionals and all these people. And her story really started spreading like wildfire, man. It just, the community was able to identify with it. And every time I heard her go up there and tell her story, I would tear up, man.
Mm-hmm. I know that's right, bro. I'm a mama's boy, man. This starting to get to me already,
I'm
man.
telling you, it always hit a soft spot for me because I'm like, well, that's my mom's.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And just to know how much she went through, how much suffering she went through, but then again, how much she overcame, and that part was just simply inspiring because I'm like, man, the same blood runs in my veins.
Ooh.
You see what I'm saying? I'm cut from the same cloth, and there I see a lot of traits of her in me. But what's even more beautiful, I see him in my daughter.
Oh man, hey man, I didn't know this was gonna turn into this type of episode, man. But this is beautiful. You know what I mean? This is why I do what I do. This type of episode, I like to do.
And just to add to what he said, but that he knows it, or if he doesn't, I'm going to tell him now, is that he is my story. He is part of that story. I have other children as well, and they have all pushed me to better myself and overcome things. But he was the initial, when I left home.
Yes, ma'am.
It was because of looking for a better future for him.
Mm-hmm. And then another thing I want to ask you both: real estate. Right, with everything that's going on in the world, where is the real estate market mainly here in Kansas City? How is the real estate market here in Kansas City?
Kansas City is growing like crazy. So it's a destination where everybody from, I have people that call in from California, from Hawaii, from Texas. Everybody wants to come and invest in Kansas City.
Is it the price of living? Is that
it is
the companies that's coming
compared to the rest of the country? If you're talking about New York, California, Miami. I mean, yes, it's the place that is growing. We have so much to offer. So, but it is, as of right now, it's a little bit on pause. It's not moving as fast as you would like to, but there's an adjusting time. Just, the time, it will change. It always happens in real estate. Yeah. You go through those ups and downs. It's the same thing with residential. It's pretty slow right now.
So as far as residential, because I know that's what you specialize in, moms,
commercial.
I'm sorry, commercial. Yes, ma'am. Is it a good time to get into commercial? Like, let's say I'm a new investor and I want to shoot my shot at commercial real estate. Is it a good time, or how should I go?
The thing about commercial is that it's always a good time. It's always a good time. It doesn't change much as residential does.
Got you.
The rates stay pretty much the same. It depends on the opportunity. It depends on the kind of business. It depends on many things. But it's always a good time to look into investment in commercial real estate.
Now, moms, I'm glad you took a sip of water because I got a question for you, a hard hitter. What is it like being in a male-dominated industry, doing what you do?
That's
a good question.
That's a really good question because it is. Even in this day and age, it's there's just a few of us women that we are really in the commercial world, because a lot of people, a lot of agents say out there, oh yeah, we do residential.
Right.
I mean commercial, but they really are residential agents. You have to be strong. You have to push your way there. You make yourself, make them feel your presence, and don't let them push you away and push you out. I always, I have told this joke before. It's not a joke. It's a true statement. One of my first deals, when I came out of real estate school, got my license. My first big commercial deal was a 2.7 million gas station.
I'm talking about moms. Yeah. Can I get a hand clap, please? Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
So I am in a meeting with all men. I'm new. I am petrified, but I'm not going to show it.
Right.
I have the ability to, I'm going to fake it until I make it.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
And this gentleman made a comment for something that was going on in this deal, and he's looking at me with condescending way, and he says, honey, you got to bring your balls to the table.
Oh.
So I looked around and I said, with all due respect here, I said, this ball's big enough for you.
That was crazy.
said mine might be in the wrong place, but they're bigger than yours. I can guarantee that.
Right.
Then we go back to business now, and everybody was laughing, and now I see the same guy, and he calls me honey, but has a different tone.
Right.
It's not honey, it's honey.
Mm-hmm.
So you just gotta, teach them how to treat you.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, Dennis, let me ask you, bro. How can we? Because you guys do it, but how can we use real estate to give back to our communities? The black and brown communities, bro. How do we give back to our communities through real estate, in your opinion?
Access. I think that part of our issue in our communities is lack of information.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And education and access to these opportunities, because at least in the let's say, for example, in the Hispanic communities, it's just been the lack of business structure and being able to qualify for utilizing other people's money to make money, right, and tapping into that. So that's been the biggest challenge. Now, Mom's niche is grocery stores and gas stations,
Gotcha.
but we also have some deals out there, and people can visit the website Cordura Real Estate. And there's a warehouse, and we got a couple restaurants on there, and some investment properties that people can check out. But part of the issue with coming across our community is just being able to qualify them for that, and the education piece is huge. Wouldn't you say, Mom?
Yeah, I wanted to add to that because I have had several clients who I basically had to educate him for a few months before we can get anywhere. Mm-hmm. In our Hispanic community, it's the lack of the language barrier is one of them.
Yes.
Education, information, and you just have to be real with these people. And I have come to the point that I had to ask him straight up, are you going back to your country?
Right.
No. Okay, then you got to do business like we do business in America. You can't have the money, and the mattress is not going to do anything here. So we have to, and another thing that we have the tendency to do in our culture is do our taxes, and we're going to show the very minimum, and sometimes losing money in the business when that is not the case. So they have to understand, and you have to show them that when you go to a bank and apply, you got to be able to show in black and white how you're going to be able to pay that loan back.
Yeah.
And so it's a process, and it takes take longer than others. I help a client that once he was signing a lease, and he had been in the same building for 15 years. The building was basically falling apart, and he needed help, but he doesn't own the building. He's leasing it.
Right.
And the landlord said, yes, we are going to fix it and blah, blah, blah. And he calls me because I had helped him in other businesses, and shows me the lease. And oh my gosh, this poor guy was about to be taken for $500,000. He was signing a lease. He didn't have a clue what he was signing.
Yeah.
And he was basically paying for all the repairs in the building. And I'm like, you're not the owner. You are only responsible from the door that's inside these doors. And that is helping your business.
Yes.
But the real estate is his responsibility. All the big ticket items he has to pay. Long story short, we were able to change that and save him from getting in a pickle that he didn't know what he was signing. So that happens a lot in our community,
And then lastly on that, just as far as education, what could, I guess, new parents do with their children to help them along in the process when it comes to buying real estate? What can parents do with their children at a young age? Is it just education alone? Just, hey, let me teach you about owning, taxes and things like that?
Yeah, I mean, that will be very helpful, how you do your taxes and doing right. Make sure that you are, because we cannot get away from Uncle Sam.
No.
Sooner or later, you're going to pay me now, pay me later, but you're going to pay me. Right?
Uncle Sam, don't play that, baby.
Financial literacy, man. The earlier you can start, the better, because it's not something you're going to learn in school.
That's a fact.
I got a master's degree and then never learned a thing about financing. My daughter, thankfully, she is going to school, UMKC, and she is an intern for American Dream Consulting.
Come on now.
And she is, bro, my daughter, she's learning everything that I wish I would have known at that age.
Right.
And I see her, and she's already talking about investing. She's already talking about, Dad, I got to take this money, put into high yield savings. I need to.
That's right.
And I'm thinking like, man, I'm so proud to see her do that because, that's something that for example, my mom and I didn't get. Right. Because we didn't know. You know what I'm saying? But because we were able to grow to this level, we're able to impact the generations that come after us, and so that is the one beautiful thing about legacy, that we can hand it off a little better than we received it.
And I gotta touch base on that and piggyback off of what both of you guys said, because I mean that financial literacy part, I mean, first of all, it's a poor person thing. You know what I mean? Yes. Everybody who's poor is some financial literacy that, you didn't know about. Because I even remember me being born in 94. Growing up, I didn't hear nothing about credit in the Black community. Nobody was talking about credit or, having a good credit score. It was all cash. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, in the Black community growing up, credit was like, hell no, I don't want no credit card. I don't want no credit score. It's all cash. Like, people would brag about paying a car off straight cash. And it's like, probably shouldn't have did that. You know what I mean? But basically what I'm getting at is the financial literacy part. I believe that's a main thing for minorities, period. You know what I mean? No matter where you come from, that's the biggest leg up, in my opinion, is financial literacy. Because there's certain things that corporate America does that we don't do and we think is wrong, but they playing that game, with billions up on the corporate level. So,
and there is a lot of resources in our community, like I am on the board of directors of the Hispanic Chamber, and we work closely with the Harlem Black Chamber of Commerce. So we come out, we have events, we have, and we could create more to help our communities.
Yes. But we got to start going to these events, though. Huh?
Exactly.
Got to start going to these events.
You gotta want it. You gotta want to look for it.
Yes.
And better yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have to show up, for themselves more than anything. It's not for the event.
Yeah.
And that's where I feel people sometimes, get it wrong. Is you're not there for them. You're there for yourself. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So you can learn, so you could network, and these events are important. Like, honestly, bro, and the single most important thing that we learned from all of this in the last 3 years that we've been doing business here in the community is networking. Wouldn't you say, Mom?
Oh, absolutely.
The amount of connections, you have to be intentional. You have to show up.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And you have to connect with people and invite people to coffee and maintain relationships. Mm-hmm. And Mom's a master at that, bro. Yeah. Mom's is, man, I tell you.
I started setting up my chessboard about 3 years ago. Uh-huh. I'm like, now my board is set. All my pieces are in place, and I know where to move what when I need it. Mm-hmm. But that took years and intention. I was an event after event after event. So I have made connections at every level in different businesses that if I need something, I have access to people that can help me.
So the networking, I guess, because, for us who didn't grow up with those connections already handed to us, we must go network to make those type of connections.
You need to. That's the only way.
Yeah. Now, Moms, I want to ask you this, though, because I've never gotten to ask anybody this question before in regards to somebody leaving their homeland to go somewhere else to chase their dreams. Can you and I know that's a loaded question I'm getting ready to ask, but like, what is that feeling of being in your homeland where your family is, the only place and man, I gotta leave here to chase my dreams and better myself. What is that feeling like, especially for a young mother like you, teenage mother? What was that like saying, okay, I gotta leave Guatemala to go to the United States?
It was definitely by far the hardest thing that I had to do in my life. Dennis was 2 years old.
Yeah.
But I just had to look around to see that there was no future.
Yeah.
I was working hard as much as I could, what was available to me. And I didn't see myself being able to better to do something better, significant, where I could pass it along to my son. So it was a decision that I had to, against my own will.
Yes.
And I just decided to leave, and you leave everything that you love, everything all your comfort, everything for the unknown. Mm-hmm. But that's what I tell people sometimes when people are so quick at talking about immigrants and what are we doing here. Just think about that piece. What do you think that we go through in order for us to make that decision and put ourselves through that pain?
Yes, ma'am.
It's not just because we want to do it.
Right.
We have to do it.
Yeah. And then Dennis, even with you, bro, because I mean, you know, through my research and everything, watching different interviews, you had to watch moms leave.
I was just so young. I really didn't even have any recollection of that. You know what I mean?
But
Now, what was it like though when you finally had to go join moms though? Even though you don't remember, you know, she still wasn't, you know, there for you. When
I
you
met
was
moms when I was, I think, 12 years old. She came to the United States. I mean, to Guatemala from the States, and I met her and my brother for the first time. And man, I always saw her in pictures, and I remember I had this picture of moms. And every so often, I would talk to her on the phone.
Right.
I would read letters that she would send and stuff like that. But I always had this sort of like angelic image of her. Like I just like and so when I saw her, man, it was just crazy because it was just like I immediately loved her.
Right, that's right.
Even though she's never been, you know, even though I never, you know, I immediately loved her, and she had to leave again, you know, and so that was hard for me because I hadn't seen her, you know, and then she comes, I meet her, and I'm like, I don't know where I'm going to see her again.
Right.
You know, and so that was really hard for me. I remember that. But when I reunited with her in the States, it was just different circumstances, man. I had to leave because my life was in danger. It was sudden.
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to say goodbye to anybody. I was essentially, you know, I had left an entire life in Guatemala, and I just didn't know how to cope, you know. So it was a challenge for me. I was a teenager too, so it was just a lot of confusion, pain, and uncertainty around that experience. But it was great to be, you know, at least reunited with her again, and to be with you know, my brothers and sisters and stuff that I, you know, my little sister I hadn't even met yet at that time. And so it was quite the experience for sure. But yeah, man, it's pretty wild.
Now, I want to go to Guatemala real quick because let me be honest with y'all. Listen, let me say something real quick.
I know
because
you're going with that.
No, moms, you could never, you know, figure me out. Hold on, mom. Let me do this real quick. Growing up, right, you know, as an African American man, right, we always knew who to not F with. You understand what I'm saying? Guatemala individuals was one of the people like, yeah, we just gonna leave them alone, brother. We'll mess with leave them be. But I want you guys to highlight the good parts about Guatemala. What are some of those beautiful areas about Guatemala? Like, why should one go visit Guatemala? Because we hear all the bad stuff, but it's good stuff there too. Dennis, give me some good stuff about Guatemala, baby.
Hey, man, Guatemala is gorgeous, man. Guatemala is actually known for the land, la tierra de la eterna primavera, right, Mom? The eternal, the eternal spring, right? And it's also Guatemala is a Nahuatl language, meaning the land of many trees. So you have some of the most beautiful rainforest. It's gorgeous, and you have bodies of water all around. But one interesting thing about Guatemala, and we were just talking about before we start shooting, there's a lot of Afro-Latino influence.
Did you teach me that?
Yeah. And so, and this Afro-Latino community, they dance what's called Garifuna. And man, if you never seen Afro-Latina dance some Garifuna, bro, you gotta make a trip. You haven't seen anything.
That's why I've been working on my Spanish.
You have to go to Livingstone. All right,
let me put it in my notes. Go ahead. Keep talking, brother. I got it.
It's a small island that basically is just the entire island is this culture of Afro-Latino influence, and the food, the dance, the whole experience is a beautiful experience. That's part of the Guatemalan experience. Something that most people don't know. I mean, look at moms. You have to admit there's some Afro-Latino influence.
You know, really, my natural hair is like super heavy curly. Like he told you earlier, I had a fro.
Moms, we're going to have to track that photo down.
You know, and my features, you see my nose. And other parts, you know.
You talking to a black man. I know what you mean, Mom. You know what I'm saying? Look, we can't help it, man. You know, it's just, you know, it is what it is.
All the beautiful parts.
Look, you see everybody going out to get them now, Moms. Everybody going out to get these thick features now. We see what y'all got going on.
I don't know officially, but if I do, hey, that's fine.
Now, Moms, what was Guatemala like, though, in the 80s?
Oof. It was.
Was it the Wild Wild West? Was it like, what was the environment like?
When I was growing up, it's we are from a very small.
Okay.
You don't even call it town. Village.
Okay,
It's
right.
very
At the
small.
time, it was a
At the
village.
time-
Now it's a town.
At the time when I was growing up, is different to when
Right.
Dennis was there, and I remember walking to school. I don't know how far it was, but it was a long walk, and it rains a lot, so the streets were gravel.
Gravel.
So I remember carrying my shoes with me.
Yes.
Until I got to the main street and washed my feet and put my shoes back on to go to school because it was mud up to your knees when you had to, get out of the area where you lived.
Yes.
When I was a little girl, we didn't have running water.
Okay.
We had a well, where that water was good for everything. And there was a time where the electricity was limited, only a few hours a day. There was so many things. But beautiful because all the people, even though they don't have anything, they give you everything. Like your neighbors, if you run out of sugar, you need a couple of eggs.
Yes,
you can
right.
just run across and hey, you just can I grab this? If they have it, they will give it to you.
Yes.
So that was, it was so poor but so rich at the same time.
And moms, I couldn't have said it any better than that because I always say this: growing up in poverty. Yes, there are dark times.
Yes.
But man, there's some good times too.
But
and like that community feel is you can't beat that. You know what I mean?
And when you don't know any better, you don't miss what you don't have.
There it is.
And there's one memory that I have talked about before because it's very meaningful to me, and and quite often it comes back to my mind, and I get teary eyed because Christmas was. You didn't expect gifts or new, nothing like that.
Yeah.
What I looked forward to on Christmas was to get apples. It was a basket of apples that my dad would bring home, and I remember the smell. So sometimes I'd find myself at the grocery store picking out an apple and smelling it. It takes me back to those days where I'm like, wow, that's something so simple and that people don't even think about it meant so much to me. So all that was beautiful, but once I had a kid and I was getting older, I wanted something different.
Right.
I wanted something better. And that's the reason why I decided to leave. But Guatemala is a beautiful country. It's beautiful it's full of beautiful people that will give you what they don't have. And there is a bad part as well, as you know.
Everybody got bad parts.
Exactly. There is a lot of crime.
Yeah.
But I think that all that comes from the situation where we don't have a middle class anymore.
Yes.
It's either you have or you don't have. So the people in the middle, they are going to do whatever to survive. Yeah. And that's the unfortunate part of it.
And I mean, the point you made just a second ago, Moms, in regards to when you don't know, I still remember growing up. When you young, you don't know. Because mind you, all your friends are poor. Everybody poor. You know what I mean? When you young, you innocent. You don't know. Like, I'm running around with no shit. They used to call me, tell you this, Mom, they used to call me sweet feet in the hood, right? Because I never wore shoes and socks. So I'm running around, the bottom of my feet would be black as hell. You know what I mean? Because I'm just running through the street. Why I did it, I don't know. But everybody from the hood know you run fast when you ain't got no shoes on. So that's really what I was doing. Because I'm just running around, I'm having fun. But you really didn't know. But I'm going to say this, Moms. My mom's wanted better for us, so she sent us to the suburbs to go to school. But that's when it hit me that I was poor. So it was like a love-hate thing. Like, it was times I was mad at my mama for sending me out to the suburbs because I'm like, why you sending me out here with all these rich kids, man? Like, they got all this shit I ain't got. You know what I mean? It really messed with me for a while, you know what I mean? Because it was the first time I realized we was poor. And then, you a kid, man, so you start to resent your parents when you see kids with stuff you don't got. But you don't know. You don't get that child's probably going through something that you're not. Because I was always loved growing up. I tell people all the time, I had love of abundance. I mean, I had the new Jordans and all of that, but I was loved. Mainly because I grew up in a house full of women, you know what I mean? And I'm the baby of the family. Mark, you know what I'm saying? I got, me getting sick, I would milk that for a month. What? Sis, I got 3 big sisters. You know what I mean? Cups of noodles I got. Don't worry about it. I love all my 3 big sisters. They took good care of me. That's why I'm spoiled now, y'all. Now, Miles, I want to ask you something. The train of death. I had never, when I was doing my research, now I heard you say that in an interview. I had never heard of it before. Could you just explain to the audience what that is, what the train of death is?
Well, once I crossed the Guatemalan-Mexican border, uh, that's what you do. That's what most people do. There's other ways, but
Right.
that's what the plan was for me and a friend that we decided to travel together. And it's a train of, I never thought of it as the train of death.
Okay.
I thought of it like the train of my dreams.
I like that. Okay.
I was excited. I didn't want to think. I just didn't have time to think about what could happen as far as bad stuff.
Yes.
I had my dreams, and that's all I could see at the end of that train, sitting. But it was an experience that like no other. You get to know so many people and good people. Everybody tells stories. You sit in that train for a long time.
Right.
You get to know a lot of people. You sleep there, you eat there, and it's just I look back now and I just, it's not that I can't believe it, but it's so surreal looking back at what I had to do.
Yeah. And then in regards to that, what advice could you give to somebody who's still in, not necessarily, or it could be Guatemala or any place, and they just want better for themselves? What advice could you give to them?
Oh, God. That is a really tough question because times have changed.
Got you.
Times have changed, and I have talked to a lot of, I am in a different situation, a different place in my life now,
ma'am.
39, whatever years that I came.
Yeah.
But I talked to a lot of people that have been here recently for a few years and whatnot. And I hear them saying, even at the worst situation here, it's not as bad as it is there.
I hear that.
But it is getting worse and more difficult for people to get jobs.
Yes, ma'am.
And so I don't know that it's better for them to venture out this way right now.
I hear that.
And I don't think that this right now is the time. There is so much more danger than when the dangers before was, women will get raped and you would get in situations like that. But as far as, I don't know, it just breaks my heart either way.
Yeah.
Because I know how it is back home. In our countries. I know it's hard. I know it's very difficult and impossible sometimes. I don't know how people survive. But then they come here, and I see some people here right now going through the same things, fighting to survive. And when I see that they make the minimum wages with 3-4 kids in a household, driving, I don't know how they make it. It's heartbreaking. So that's a very difficult question to answer and tell you what exactly I would tell people,
And if I may,
Go ahead,
on that, I think about the times, right? Back in those days when moms came this way, there was not any of these things that we have accessible to us now, right? And there's a more globalized economy, and there is a lot of opportunities to do things from anywhere in the world. Technically. And I feel that if people exploit those opportunities before they resort to leaving their lives behind, I think they might find out that they already are where they need to be, It doesn't, I don't want people to think that this is the place to be, because there's challenges here too.
Absolutely.
And there's a mental health crisis here. There is, a lot of just political turmoil there. I mean, the United States is not what most people go selling down there.
Or what it used to be.
There you go.
Because I mean, when this was known as you were looking for the American dream.
Right.
Everybody, the American dream. It was reachable. It was something that you could reach. I can tell you right now that I am blessed that I have my own American dream. I am not a millionaire or anything, but everything that I have accomplished and have my family with me, my dream has come true.
Yes, ma'am.
So, it's very sad that people can be okay here or there. And what he was saying, I know what you're saying, but also remember that the people that come here from our countries are people without resources.
Right.
More blue collar, people without education. So they don't have I don't want to say the capacity, but the means to explore other things. You know what I mean?
It's tough. You know what I mean?
It is.
And I'm
It's
glad y'all
very
put it that way. Now, moms, after all those years when, 39 years when you left Guatemala, seeing Dennis and how he is now, is that what you did it for? Because now my dog got a master's, kids. Is that what you did it for?
That's my American dream right
That's
there.
right.
I'm so proud of my son. I would do it all over again.
That's right.
Just for that simple, not that simple, but just for that reason, that it was hard. Mm-hmm. And I know that I broke his heart, and I know that it was hard for him growing up without a mom and without a dad because he wasn't in the picture either. But I know that there was some resentment at some point, when we first reunited, but I can say that it was worth it because what he is now, what he has, wouldn't have been possible without that sacrifice.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So,
and then since moms, did that, I'm gonna flip it to you, man. Like now that we grown, because when you get older, you realize what your parents did. When you're young, you young. You know what I mean? You just don't know. But now that we grown, now you got kids, man. How does it feel knowing that your mom is a superhero in that sense, where she did damn near the impossible to make sure you could become the man that you became today?
Yeah, no, I mean, when I became a father, man, I just I developed a different level of respect for my mom because I know how hard it is to be responsible for another life, right? Yep. And then I thought of things that I'm thinking, like at the age of 17, really taking that leap of faith and changing all of our destinies, bro. Mm-hmm. You're talking about, I mean, her decision shifted the entire trajectory of our bloodline. Mm. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Hell yeah. Do you understand that the magnitude of that? I mean, that's huge. Yeah, and man. So, and it didn't come without, that painful process for all of us, because it took adjustments all along the generations. Yeah. And there was a lot of traumas we had to overcome. There was a lot of adjustments we had to make for her, for me, for my daughters. And, but you know what, man, I think that she made the right choice.
Yeah.
I could see it now clearly. And we were talking about it not that long ago, because it took this many years. And I was telling her, I was like, this is the reason you came here for. When she was launching Cordura Real Estate. Yeah. And I said, I mean, it's like life is handing you the keys to your destiny after all those years, and everything that you've done is for this single moment. You know what I'm saying? And it's so crazy because that happens, and 2026 has been a huge year for us, man. There was the launch of Cordura Real Estate Network. I lost my gig. We're launching a couple of grocery stores that we're opening up. I'm the project manager. Anthony, shout out Anthony Strada, her significant other. He's the president and CEO for Mercado Frescos, World Fresh Markets, and United Markets are going to be his stores.
Can I get a hand clap, please? All this good entrepreneurship going on. That's what I'm talking about.
We're actually launching United Market over in Linwood area. It's a food
in 31st.
It's a food desert. Nobody wanted to take on this project, but we are, because the community needs it. And then we're moving on to KCK right after that.
The Merc right here.
So my mom's on the real estate front of things. I'm on the operation side of things, helping the CEO Anthony along with that stuff. And it's just incredible to be here at this moment, experiencing this. And sometimes it almost feels surreal that we're the ones in charge of this. And how privileged and grateful am I to be able to do this and say, I mean, I'm saying these things and I still have a hard time believing it.
Right. I heard that, Dennis, bro.
And I'm just, I just want to praise God for it,
Yes,
because
sir.
I feel like it's part of His plan. Is better than anything I could have ever imagined.
Yeah, that's right.
Amen to that.
That's right. Amen. I almost cursed after I said amen. Mama, I'm sorry, baby. I know she was. You better not curse. Now, Mom, let me ask you this. Cancer is something that touches the world. It's touched us all. I think I think anybody who watches this show, anybody who, so many people around the world have been touched by cancer. I mean, I lost, one of the loves of my life, my grandmother, from cancer. She caught it twice. She beat it the first time, then it came back and caught it the second time. Moms, what was that like going through, cancer? Just because, I mean, it's one of those things that is uncertain and a lot of people don't come back from those treatments. How was that whole just cancer journey?
It was a really very hard experience because of the uncertainty.
Yes, ma'am.
And I have to say that I have never been afraid to die. I'm like, if it's my time, if God is calling me, I'm ready to go anytime.
Yeah.
But when you are a mother, that was my biggest fear. Like, what's going to happen to my kids if I don't make it through this? And, the worst part of it is like so unexpected. I have been in fitness for many years, and I was healthy.
Yes.
According to what I knew, eating, exercising. I was at the highest point of I had just became a pro competitor, traveled to Spain to compete, came back, and that's when I got the news that I had stomach cancer, and went through treatments and surgeries, and then I was okay from there. And a couple months later, my lung showed up that I had something, but that was caught very early.
Yes.
So I am grateful that I was given a second opportunity, and I have been okay since. And I know that cancer is a pandemic. Everybody knows someone. It's not themselves. It's somebody else.
Yes.
That cancer it's everywhere.
Yeah.
But I am blessed that I am okay. And it was very scary. It was very scary. You don't know what's going to happen. And even now, all this year since 2009, I live with that cloud on my head that something happens. I'm like, what is that? I'm always so in tune with my body, because you never know.
And Mom, she was eating healthy and everything. So
Yes.
was that surprising? Because I mean, that's even shocking to hear. Like, you was living a healthy life.
Oh,
and
it
still
was
caught.
very, very surprising to me. I was angry. I was like, why me? Why did I take care of my body? I exercise every day. I was angry at God. I was angry at life. But why not me?
Yeah. Mom, I've been starting to say that lately too. This is funny how life works. I've been saying like when I go through a hard time, I'm like, man, he chose me to go through it, man. So just go through it. You know what I mean?
We must be special.
See,
he knows that we will overcome it.
Yes.
And that's adding to your testimony.
Yeah.
To help other people, to make you stronger, to make you a better person. Because definitely going through something like that, it makes you realize that life is very fragile. And you gotta let the people that you love know that you love them. You learn to look at life differently, and so it was. I would say it was something that I experienced. God allowed in my life for reasons that He knew, and I really think that it was a lesson for me. It was a timeout.
Yeah.
That I was put on timeout to learn some things that were going on in my life, and God gave me time to think. And I'm grateful for that.
And did you have to change some things? Like, did you have to change some things in your diet or anything like that?
No, I was already eating
Right.
healthy
So,
and
yeah,
all
okay,
that.
gotcha.
So no, I just continue on that path. Even more intentional than before. And it took me several years, maybe 6 years after I had cancer, to come back to compete again. But I did. I was still passionate about it, and I wasn't ready to hang the towel yet.
Yeah. And what got you into fitness, Moms, if you don't mind me asking? Like, what was that moment where you was like, you know what, I want to, dive head first into this whole fitness thing?
Stress. I had 4 children at home that were driving me absolutely nuts. And I had to find an outlet. I had to find a way to deal with my stress, working full-time job, being a mom, a wife, and living in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
No offense.
No offense to all the good people out there in Oklahoma.
Yes.
Let me say, everything ain't for everybody, okay?
Exactly. So I started going to the gym just out of just to have an outlet to, I will get off work, go to the gym, start doing a little bit of cardio, and then went home. I felt better, and I started noticing that whenever I did that, I had a better mindset.
Yeah.
I had more tolerance to go home and do the things that I need to do with the kids and home and whatever. And one thing led to another. I mean, nothing happens by accident, I don't think.
Yes.
It was in the stars for my destiny, whatever, but it led me to meet people when I moved to Kansas City from Oklahoma that were in the competitive bodybuilding world. And, I God blessed me with good genetics.
Yes.
And just started messing around with the training, a little bit of this and that, and noticed some changes in my body. And I was convinced by a friend to do one show. And that's been 25 years since, and I have not stopped yet. It's been very, it's a blessing. I love it. It's my passion. I really believe that bodybuilding is, I've said this before too, that bodybuilding is a sport for people that are unfit inside.
I like that.
And anybody can dispute that with me, and I will tell them that that's what it is.
Yeah.
Because, and I said it for my personal reasons, it's a very, it's a beautiful sport. The discipline of it is amazing. You take that discipline and apply it to the rest of your life, you can be a better person. And I have tried to do that, but also can destroy you if you let it, because it's very egotistic and
when you get to that level, huh?
Exactly. You look at yourself and you feel like you're untouchable. You're, and you start to lose yourself in that. And when I told you that I was put on timeout, I had lessons to learn. And then when I came back after cancer, and I had the opportunity, the blessing that I didn't have before, that I was recruited by my country to be an athlete for the Federation of Guatemala. And that's been an honor for me to represent the Guatemalan woman in my country in international platforms, to have been able to win gold medals for my country. It's a feeling that you can't describe. So all that it's great, but that didn't happen until I came back from cancer, and I went into it with a different mindset. I was doing it for the wrong reasons before. And this opened a whole new, you become, especially for my country, you become someone that people look up to. If she did it, we can do it too. And a lot of younger girls that were looking up, to me. And that's been an amazing opportunity that God brought my way after all that happened. And people look at you from the outside, from the physical part of it, oh my God, how do you do this? How do you do that? And that gives me a right to touch lives in different ways, because I can identify when there's something your fitness needs to be fixed inside before you, and that's where the mental health, that's where Healing with Helen came about, because I know it's needed.
Right.
But bodybuilding has been a blessing in my life.
And I'm gonna say this: when we were setting this interview up, her son is also into his fitness. Obviously, you see how my dog did shape. You know what I mean? Obviously, my dog will work out. He was talking to me doing cardio. You know what I mean? Am I lying, Dennis, bro? My dog said he was talking to me doing cardio. But Dennis, let me ask you, bro, how important is fitness, bro, in your life? Mentally, physically, spiritually, how important is fitness to you currently in your life?
Man, I can't even tell you how important it is, man. Honestly, I've dealt with anxiety and depression for many years now. I'm not on medication anymore. I actually I manage it through lifestyle, and part of that lifestyle is fitness. I can't go without working out, because it's not just about the physical aspect of it. For me, it's about how I feel.
Yes.
And not just that, but also the food aspect of it too. And I can start noticing what it starts doing to my mental health if I start deviating from those things.
Right.
You know, and it's almost like, let's say, for example, it's hard to say, because once you've experienced it, you know, and once you live that lifestyle and you start going back to your old ways where you're eating like crap or not exercising, you immediately feel it. I mean, it impacts your mental health, and you know, that sobriety part also as well that I said. So it's been a process of cleaning out the bad habits and incorporating some things. But it's tough, right? Because, you know, life gets busy. Sometimes you don't feel like doing it. But I just, you know, this morning, for example, I was up at 6:30 because I knew I was going to be here, you know, so I'm like, I got to get, you know, this in because later on I won't get a chance to it. So it's this commitment with yourself to know that you have to be there, to know that you got to work out, and more than the physical aspect of it is the mental health.
Yeah.
It's mind over muscle, I said.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I mean, listen, that what you said just a second ago, I haven't let go since you said it in regards to, you know, people who do bodybuilding, they trying to fix what's inside.
Yeah.
I mean, that hit me like I mean, that's crazy.
It's totally true.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I never dated a bodybuilder.
Yeah. Now they say it feels like that, but wouldn't that make sense though, moms? To date somebody who know I'm gonna count my macros, baby. I can't eat that.
If I have to compete with my man for the
I
mirror,
heard that.
it's
okay. I heard that, moms. Yeah. That's less for all you fellas out there. Got your woman competing for the damn mirror. Get out the way.
But you know, on a serious note about it, also what I've noticed is when it has helped me in my professional life,
yes,
in my personal, because when you have the discipline to go through what you need to do a competition the right way, it's like people respect you. People know that you have commitment. People know that you have discipline.
Yes, and
you're not going to stop through the journey.
Yeah,
and that it's a good thing.
And I've been that way. Just, I mean, being a former athlete, you know, I played college ball, so of course I'm around, you know, a lot of fit men. You know what I mean? So, or just fit people, period. You know, playing college sports, but it was like what you just said, Moms. It was like when you see somebody in shape. For me, I'm gonna say what I do. When I see somebody in shape, I always go, all right. It make me want to go back to the gym. It's like, oh damn, bro. I'm gonna be transparent with y'all. When I'm at the gym and I see a dude in there who got a big chest, oh, I drop down. I do me some more push-ups. Oh hell, because I'm gonna be honest with y'all, that's the part of my body I'm still trying to get. You know, because once I get it, oh, y'all in trouble. Once these pecs wear all the way, I ain't Dennis. Once I get this shelf going, it's on.
Once the boobies come up.
Yeah, Mom. I'm just, but it's cool. I got it.
You're going to be out here doing episodes without a shirt.
Y'all in trouble. Because luckily for me, I still, you know, I work out, but I don't work out like I used to when I was playing college ball and everything. But I don't think, Mark, you would agree. None of us do. You know, us former. Because that was too much, bro. Listen, they had us squatting at 5 a.m. on no carbs. Fresh out the bed. You know what I mean? We was doing, I'm talking just full-blown workouts. With no carbs, no food, little hot pocket maybe. Mark, did you eat before the 5 a.m. workouts? Or did you just go raw dog? Yeah, me too.
On an empty stomach.
On an empty
best
stomach?
workout.
Moms, I'm not lying.
That was it today. I was squatting on an empty stomach today. It was leg day.
Did you get the...
Oh, yeah.
Did you get the...
You get those. You get those.
Now, Mom, do you have a favorite bodybuilder? Because you've been in the industry a long time. Did you have anybody you look to for inspiration?
You know, I can't tell you that I do, but
yeah.
I the one that I always not necessarily looked up, but I had a lot of admiration for her is Lisa Lewis.
Gotcha.
Lisa, she's local. She was the first one that put women's bodybuilding on the map.
Listen, we got I-70 history, baby. You know what I mean? You didn't get this on another podcast, but mine. Go ahead, Mom. Keep doing them nuggets.
And she's still around, and she still looks great. You know, so and I've noticed that the old timers, you know, that once we went through that transformation, we never looked back. You know, we stayed in it and made it into a lifestyle. I have several friends like that around here, but I mean, there's so many people that I, like in the time that when I started, like Jay Cutler,
Yes, ma'am, absolutely.
He's always been one of my favorites, Jay Cutler for sure, and Mr. Coleman, Ronnie,
the one,
the king and only the king. Yeah. Unfortunately, he's where he's at right now, but he was great in his time.
And how is that though, Mom? Just seeing, some of your peers, doing, they made it to the Olympia stage and everything, but their bodies is breaking down.
Yes.
How does that make you feel? Just seeing that, because it's like the ultimate sacrifice.
This industry is definitely full of supplements, and I don't want to. I mean, it's everybody's choice.
Yes.
It's a choice that you make. And it's something also that is it's addictive. They look in the mirror, and the more you see, the more you want.
Yeah.
I remember an interview for a lady bodybuilder, and she had so many health issues, and she said, "I wish that people would have been real with me."
Mm-hmm.
Every time that somebody told me you look great, they really wanted to tell me you look like a freak.
Yeah.
He said, because she was so huge, and she lost her feminine voice, her hair fell off, and so many other things that she had to go to overcome.
Yes.
After. And it is sad because I have met a few when I competed at the Arnold in Australia in 2017, and that's when what is his name, McCarver, Dallas McCarver. I remember talking to him at the Arnold, and he looked so bad then, and he was like grayish color and sick, and I'm like, hey, you should sit this one out. He's like, no, man, I gotta get to the Olympia, and he had been sick for weeks, and that's when he collapsed on the stage.
See, and I didn't know, Moms, it happened on stage. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he collapsed on the stage, and he came back to the States.
Okay.
And then shortly after that is when he passed away. But it's unfortunate because a lot of young people that have, passed away from.
Yeah.
Like, once again, those are personal decisions. Me competing in Guatemala, we have to be drug-free.
Okay.
We are tested before and after.
Yes.
And it's one of the requirements because we're government funded.
Yeah.
And we have to pass all the testing and stuff. So that's what I liked and enjoy about that part as well, because here, nowadays, it's like on my natural estate, there's no way that I can catch up with some of the girls around here.
Yeah, and I mean, I say it's really the youngsters. I mean, like, they see a lot of these influencers. And a lot of some of these influencers will lie to them, and you can get like this if So I mean, it's tough.
And the thing is too that just a couple of days ago, I was talking to a kid at the gym, and he's like, "I'm not gonna lie, I'm doing this and this and that," and I said, "Okay," and he was asking me some questions about things, and I said, "Do you do that?" They don't even cycle it; they just stay on it. They just write it out, for life, like it's every day.
Yeah,
and unfortunately that doesn't come, your body will notice that somehow, some way.
See, for me, I'm be honest with y'all, I always, the whole Roy's Rage thing, I already got a temper problem. So I knew I couldn't get on, you know what I'm saying, Moms? I knew I couldn't get on nothing like that because I'm already fired up all the time.
And me being Latina,
you know what I'm saying, Mom? Yeah, we can't be out here we can't be out here upset like that. You know what I mean? Ain't no telling what transpire.
That's right.
Yeah. Now, Mom, in regards to that, though, is it important when you are bodybuilding to make sure you're getting your blood work done and all those types of things? Is that essential when trying to be a bodybuilder?
It is. I'm not going to speak for everyone.
Okay. Yes,
but
ma'am.
For me, yes. I get my blood work every 6 months.
Okay.
And so much because what I went through.
Yes.
My blood work, I want to know where everything is at. I make sure that my supplements, my vitamins, my minerals and everything. I do my part. I'm going to do what I can to stay healthy and shoot. I'm not ashamed to say it. I'm 60 years old.
Go on, Mama. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Looking good, Mama. That's what I'm talking about.
And I will stand next to any 20, 30, 40-year-old, and I'm not ashamed. So it shows, if you take care of yourself, you eat well, you exercise, get some sleep, and it works.
Sleep is the hardest part. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I can't sleep. I be up too late. That's why, you know what I mean?
Partying or what?
No, I'm in my 30s now, Mama. So, the party,
wow.
yeah, I'm past it.
30s?
But, I'm grown out here, Mama. That's what I mean by that. You know what I mean? I'm grown out here now.
Party days are over. Oh, no, you party, but not that way.
I party the grown way.
Right.
I leave before it's over.
Yep.
I'm in bed rubbing my toes together while you still getting the last round. I make sure I got food ready. I prepare it. I used to go out and just drink on an empty stomach. Now I got to have my meals right. I got to nap before. It's a process now, Mom. You know what I mean? I got to.
You're telling me.
Yeah, I got to get myself together. I can't be out here just, come outside. Yeah, nah.
I'm like, if the party doesn't start at 5, I'm not going.
I'm cool. I'm cool. I'm okay. No. Now, in regards to Kansas City with the World Cup coming, if you're in the real estate game, how can you take advantage of the World Cup coming to Kansas City? It is a question for both of y'all, by the way. But how, as a real estate investor or somebody who wants to get into real estate, anything, how can you take advantage of the World Cup coming to Kansas City?
I told you I'm part of the Hispanic Chamber, and we work closely with the Black Chamber. And there is a lot of programs that the city had available out there too. They wanted to fill out all the storefronts, buildings that were empty in the area, like Crossroads, downtown,
yes, ma'am,
in some other areas of the city. But it's all it's temporary.
Gotcha.
I think that the community is going to benefit from it with the overflow of business.
Absolutely.
That is going to, you can't help it.
You can't help it, yeah.
We're expecting 650,000 people in the city. So yes, business is going to be there.
Yeah.
But for me to tell you, go and open a restaurant I don't believe that in a small business. I don't really think that it's necessary for them to go and make a big investment in this and that.
Yes.
Because it's not, the FIFA already have the main big businesses that they need.
Yes.
They
had that tied up for a year or two now.
Correct.
Yeah.
They already know who they want there.
Yeah.
So it is going to be beneficial for the city. Yes, absolutely yes. But to go and invest right now, if you have an Airbnb, you're gonna be making buck. I
heard that, Mom.
That is, and that is, a lot of people are already prepared with that.
Yeah.
But it's going to be beneficial for the city as a whole.
Yeah. Now, what about you, Dennis? What are your thoughts on just the World Cup coming? Because, I think we less than 100 days away, I think.
Yeah, man, we're almost there. Honestly, man, I think that it's going to be a great opportunity for people that are coming from outside Kansas City and seeing it for the first time.
Yes, sir.
And I'm sure that a lot of these people are probably going to be able to see the contrast also because, they got some games going on in California as well. In LA, I believe, is where they're going to be playing. And here. And, there's people are hitting up different games across the states. Yep. And be able to compare markets in a way, where they're going to
be on the map even more than
before. People are going to see that Kansas City is this big city with a Western feel. You know what I'm saying? Very welcoming, and I feel like people are going to see the potential on investing here. You know what I mean? And I honestly believe that the world is going to discover Kansas City as a jewel for investment.
Yes.
The exposure that we're going to have.
I honestly think after this World Cup, people are going to be looking at Kansas City with different eyes and say, that place has got potential.
Yes.
Because right now when you say Kansas City, in a lot of places, they just picture cows and hay.
Oh, the Chiefs.
People don't know. People don't know.
Yeah.
And so the World Cup is going to put us on the map in an international platform, and now people are going to see it as a potential for investment, and where they might be able to say, why am I spending money in California?
New York,
if you buy one property over there when you could buy 6 over here.
Talk that talk, man. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
And I'm saying from a financial standpoint,
right. That's right.
Wouldn't it make more sense to invest in Kansas City?
Yeah.
Looking at the trajectory of the city, how much is growing. So if you really do your research on Kansas City, man, you can't go wrong with putting your money here.
Yeah.
Because the city's going somewhere.
I'm excited. You know what I mean? Just because since I've moved to Kansas City, just so many things have happened since I moved to Kansas City, right? Well, I mean, I moved up here right before the Chiefs became the Chiefs. You know what I mean? Well, let me not be disrespectful. They've always been the Chiefs, but the winning and everything happened right when I came, right? And then, you know, the NFL draft coming here, you know what I mean? And, you know, the parade and all that, but now
Casey Current, the only woman, you know, the soccer field for females. They're going to end up having, you know, the women's World Cup here.
Yeah. And I was wondering that. I'm like, it's only right. It only makes sense.
It's already in the works.
Yeah, and that field is beautiful. By the way.
Yeah, rugby, women's rugby also potentially here. I mean, and then. I mean, we can talk about the endless amount of investment coming from elsewhere here because people are seeing the potential of the city, and at the rate that is growing, you better get yours while you can still afford it.
I'm trying to tell you. Listen, that's why I couldn't wait to get them on. I'm like, I got these questions that I need to ask. I had to put my apartment up for Airbnb. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
You feel me, Mark? You know what I'm saying? You know, your location. Let me not do that so the women won't know where you stay. My bad. I be getting market trouble from time to time.
As a matter of fact, today at 2:00, I'm going to. We have a session to go and take pictures with the actual World Cup FIFA trophy.
Ah, see, look at that. See,
yeah.
I'm talking to the right people, by the way. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get these type of interviews, man. You see what I'm saying? And I mean, honestly speaking, I just can't wait just because I've never been around an international event to this magnitude. Where all these eyes will be on the city and all of that. So I'm really excited, you know, honestly, because me being a podcast and everything, but I'm just excited to see, honestly, I'm excited to see all the hustlers.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see all the people who really want to be successful because those are the people who you're going to see during the World Cup, trying to network, trying to, you know, meet different people. It's going to be all different types of brands and billion-dollar corporations having meetings in this city, and it's for a month. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm really excited. I may catch John just on the corner somewhere doing street interviews. You never know. You know what I mean?
You know, and we know that it's going to be huge, but I can comprehend that 650,000 people, the traffic, and are we really ready?
Yeah. That's a good point there, Mons. I don't know if we're ready.
They just shut down the I-70 yesterday because of the flood.
Oh, yeah, they sure did. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up.
But the I-70 podcast is still running. Hey,
man, look, it's three things that's certain: taxes, death. I-70 podcast, baby. Listen, but honestly, I don't know if they're ready, y'all, because I'm gonna be honest with you, it'd be a lot of traffic here in KC. And I just don't know if we ready for that many people. Luckily, John lives in Johnson County, way, way out. So I won't be by you anyway unless I got to come down to the city.
And we're in Lee Summit, so, but
we still have to come down at some point. And, you know, all the hotels are going to be full.
Everything is like from here all the way to Wichita, Lawrence.
I never thought about that yet. They're going to be buying up, people going to go to Columbia just to drive up for the game.
Yeah.
I guess the whole state going to feel it. You know what I mean? Because KC ain't going to be able to fit all them 600,000 people.
No. I believe that we only have room for, what did I say, 52,000 people or something like that.
It should be a good time, man. A lot of traffic, cars standing still. You know what I mean? It should be good.
Holy smokes. Let's see it. I'm here for it.
I'm here for it, Dennis,
I'm here for it, man.
I'm here for it.
It's all exciting stuff.
Yeah, if the tickets weren't so damn high, I would go, but I'm cool. I ain't gonna.
I know. Yeah, that's another story.
Yeah. Hey, let me ask you this. Is soccer big in Guatemala?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I shouldn't ask that question.
We never make it to the World Cup, but it's big.
We've been close. No, it's the only sport that is predominant there. Yeah. Dennis used to play soccer.
In my research, Dennis, I didn't know that he used to get down in soccer, my brother. I should have known that. My bad, dog.
Barefoot in the street.
Yes.
Yeah. That's how I came up.
Come on, see, sweet feet. See, look, told you, man.
He tried to play American football when he came here, but
that was a disaster.
What happened, Dennis, bro?
I didn't have the size for it.
First of all, he had a problem with the tight pants.
Okay, I heard that.
He would be like, "Mom, I don't like this." And then his English was very limited. Then he couldn't get the plays.
Okay.
When everybody was running that way, he would be running that way.
Yeah.
So it was interesting. It was entertaining.
Hey, man, Dennis, bro, at least you tried, bro.
I was getting laid out there, dog.
and my ex-husband, I remember he tried to help him with the plays, and you know, and then Dennis will be running, and he was like, "Dennis, that way."
Yeah. Yeah, Dennis, I'm surprised, man. They ain't had you with the, you know, with the playbook and with the arrows, because they helped me out a lot. I speak English, and that should help me.
I had no business playing American football, man.
Yeah, I
should have stuck to soccer.
It ain't for everybody, because I will say this about American football. And Mark, I know you're gonna agree with me on this. You got to be a little off to play American football. I'm not gonna lie, because you have to hit people and enjoy it. I mean, simple as that. I mean, I'm literally finna tackle you at full speed and then get up and talk shit to you. Yeah, you know what I mean? I gotta like it. So you gotta be a little off. I know I was, you know what I mean? I can't help it, you know. But it helped me out a lot though, I will say, because football helped me channel my aggression. You know, I'm 31 and I think I'm afraid to really tap into where that anger in me came from, but I was a very, very angry child. Yeah, I was very angry as a child. Like, I fought a lot. Dennis, as you know what I mean? It was just in me, you know what I mean? I fought a lot and I was just angry, but football really helped me out a lot. Like, because I never forget, I had this old white coach. He was like, John, think about it. Maybe I shouldn't tell the story. I'm gonna tell it anyway. He was like, John, think about it. Everything you would get in trouble for on the street, you know, being violent and everything, you could do in between these white lines. And when he said that, I was like, he's right. And I mean, I let loose. And I was this big, y'all. I was skinny. But boy, did I pack a punch. You know, I learned early on that intimidation was... I'm going into some shit I don't need to go into. It's not the type of interview. Mark, how we doing on time, baby? Good, thank you. Now, y'all got so much going on. 2026 has been an amazing year. You know, y'all gonna keep climbing, keep growing. What should we be expecting in 2026? And please give, you know, all the information needed. Dennis, you did it earlier. Do it again for me, bro. Just all the information needed to get in contact with you all, to be investors, you know, potential investors, contractors, whatever. How can everybody get in touch with you all to get in on all these big things y'all got going on?
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, you should be expecting a lot. Actually, we got a lot of things in the works. For one, we're getting back on Healing with Helen. So,
that's right.
So we
I'm gonna have you on it.
Thank you. I say, Mom, you know, don't nobody have me on.
I'm gonna be asking the questions.
There we go. Yeah, I love it.
So
Mark, you can come and watch.
No, hell with him, Mama. This is about me. Hell with him. We don't like him like that. He's gonna do his job and he's gonna be gone. Go ahead, Dennis.
Real estate. You know, we were launching some real estate campaigns.
Yeah.
Mom's is launching out there in Lee Summit, where, you know, is her home. So we're you know, putting a lot of emphasis out there in Lee Summit.
I love Lee Summit, by the way.
Website. You guys got to go check out the website. We got some investment opportunities there and some exclusive off-market deals that if you guys want to, you know, get in contact with those, you could DM Moms at FBB Pro Helen Ortiz. Dennis Ortiz Biz and Instagram, Facebook Dennis Ortiz, same thing, and you know, for Facebook for Moms is Helen Ortiz, and we got that. You can be expecting the stores that are launching, the United Market, Linwood, and also KCK. Where the Merc is actually where we're going to be launching the second one that's coming down the pipeline. And, man, we're just out here knocking heads and taking names, man.
That's what I'm talking about. And I want to say this, Mom. I said it earlier, but I truly want to thank you for coming through today because... go ahead, Mom. What you got?
I just want to make it official that I will be doing my last competition this year.
Hey, so all right.
I'm gonna start prepping for October. And that will be my retirement.
I know that's show. Right. So I was in the interview. Let me ask you this before we get up out here, Mom. What made you go that this is your last one, your last ride?
The show is gonna be a week after my 60th birthday. And I'm gonna go down in history as the oldest person in my country. That is
right.
You know, so it's time.
Yeah.
It's time.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, that is beautiful. Oh, I love to hear that. I don't know, Justin, now for an interview over with, man. Get your ass up. No, go ahead, Dennis.
She's actually going in history as the first woman bodybuilder in Guatemala, too.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. See, listen, that's why I'm not a user, Mom, but the fact that I have you on the show is going to give me a little leverage when I finally go to Guatemala, because I can be like, look, you know Miss Helen, don't you? You know,
you got some pull. You're going to have some pull.
That's what I do, man. I'm always trying to get my 10%. By the way, Mark, where's our gigs at, baby? You know what I mean? We ain't been booked in a while, baby. Where our gigs at, brother? You know what I mean? I'm going to upcharge you, baby. When we going to get back in the game, Mark? What you doing, baby? Is it because of Hollywood? All right, man. Call it what it is, then. Come on, man. You know, I don't even believe in no more. Come on, Jake. Come on. You know, you starting your acting classes. I'm going to get down with somebody who really doing it. The hell with you, Mark. You know what I'm saying? Now, listen. But another amazing episode. But what I was getting ready to say, Moms, I really appreciate you coming just because, like I said before, your story was probably my favorite. And my tenure, I've done, 150 episodes now? Wow.
Wow, something to celebrate.
150?
150, bro. This is the 150th episode, yes.
Ah, man.
Ooh, Lord.
Wow.
That sounded crazy to say, but
That's a staple.
What I'm getting at, Moms, is I always do my due diligence on my guests. Your background was my favorite just because it was so many things I could have tapped into. You know what I mean? And like I said before, you are an inspiration, a superhero, if you will, because your story deserves to be on so many platforms because the things you overcame, a lot of people would have quit, gave up, had a different story. Where you come from and where you are now is the stuff that legends are made of, Mom. So I want to thank you for coming through today.
Thank you. And if I may, I just want to read something that I found and is absolutely beautiful. So I was
close it out, Mom. Let's do it. Yeah, close us out.
Everyone, we all are born with a personal legend, and that is one's true life purpose, destiny, or personal calling. What you have always wanted to accomplish and what brings you genuine enthusiasm is the unique, authentic path a person is meant to follow to fulfill their potential and honor the miracle of life.
And now listen, with that being said, it's the I-70 Podcast, baby, and we out. That's what I'm talking about, Mom. Way to close out.